Hi guys, I'm back to telling short, scary stories. If you are new to my channel and you like my content, you can support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, so whenever I post up a new video, you'll be the first to know. With that being said, let's begin. I spent a couple years teaching at a small high school. The building was pretty new and in great condition, with spacious classroom flooded with the natural lightings through the windows. Initially, there was no link of anything supernatural, or so I thought. As the school year progressed, I decided to adorn my classroom wall with portraits of two influencers that I envy. One was an activist, and the other one was a painter. One male and one female. Although both of the portraits were nailed into the wall pretty good, one of the portraits, the woman, kept falling off. It became a running joke among my colleagues. They keep saying that it must have been a ghost that is biased with my haunting room. However, I did not think too much of it. I just looked at it as it was the wind from the window that made the picture frame fall. Or maybe when my students closed the door. Frustrated one day, I vented my annoyance at the so-called ghosts defending the horror of the female artist. Strangely thereafter, the wall clock started to also keep falling from the wall. No matter how many times I put it up, with nails, with Velcro, the clock will consistently fall off the wall. Eventually, a neighboring co-worker confided in me, revealing that both of our rooms might be haunted. With her exposing that to me, now I know that I'm not alone, and that this weird occurrence is just not happening to me but other workers as well. This one day, I happened to come across the security guard that watches over the building. I asked him, has he been also experiencing paranormal activities in this building? He giggled and laughed. He said, yes, I have experienced a couple times, but only through the surveillance cameras. If you like, I can show you. I followed him back to his office. He pulled up a clip of the camera pointing down the hallway. The door to the left was actually my homeroom. As I watched carefully, the hallway surveillance footage captured the doorknob turning on its own. But right when I arrived at my door, the doorknob stopped. It really shook me because this video was actually taken today before the kids started to come to school. The following year, I was relocated to a different room, and the disturbance ceased entirely. Later, I discovered that the school's building had a history as a grim orphanage, perhaps explaining the lingering paranormal presence. I was talking on the phone with some old buddies of mine. We all came home for the holidays. They had told me that when they were back at the school, they went up into the attic just to check it out. When they told me that they were going to go up in the attic, I told them that don't do that. I've lived in a haunted house and it's not funny to mess around with things like that. But they didn't care. They still did it anyways. After that, they kept texting me that they've been seeing and hearing things. I told them to tell that thing to go away and to not mess with them. But again, they did not listen to me. They even gave it a name. After the holidays were done, all of our friends came back to our apartment. My partner, who lives with us, started hearing voices that sounds like mine or my roommate's while he was showering. I started hearing them too, but only my roommate's voice. Late at night, I would hear noises from my roommate's closet, and their laughters and giggles. Even though I texted them to be quiet because I had class the next day. But they were confused because they were working. We didn't have neighbors because the rooms next to us were empty. So I went to my roommate's room and saw that the closet door was open wide. But everything else seems normal. When COVID hit, my roommate moved out because the school was closed. My partner and I found a small place and moved out quickly. But then we started having sleeping problems. We heard each other's voices in the bathroom, in the closet, in the hallway. Even though these doors are locked, you can still hear the voices coming through them. We had many sleepless nights and decided to move out once more. This time around, we planned to go live with one of our parents down by the lake house while we looked for a new place. But we still continued to hear these voices and giggles. One night, we heard banging on the door of our bedroom and someone yelling at us to wake up. I thought it was my parents, but when we checked, nobody was there. They even saw a figure running in the hallways from my sister's room to my parents' room, which was very scary. My partner and I kind of figured that whatever my friends saw or brought down from the attic probably is attached to us now, because wherever we went, these things kept following us. So my partner and I, we agreed that we should go back to the college and go into the attic and go and apologize and tell that thing to stay where it belongs and to stop following us. After coming back from the attic at the school, we can feel a heavy rock lifted off our chest. Weeks later, we moved again from college, and we didn't have any more problems that dealt with the voices and the giggling. It was the scariest experience I've ever had. I've had lots of ghost stories, but nothing like this before, especially copying the voices of people I care about. When I was a teenager, my mom worked as the kitchen lady at our high school in town. This school has tons of stories about people passing away over the years. When she started working, her co-workers told her about the spooky stuff that has been happening in the kitchen. She didn't really believe it until she had her own terrifying experience. One day after lunch, they were all sitting around eating before they had to clean up. Right by the serving area was a storage closet with cleaning supplies, including a hose for mopping. While they all were eating, they heard the hose turn on by itself. They rushed over to the closet to turn it off. But when they opened the door, the hose was spraying water everywhere, thrashing around like it had its own mind. One of the ladies tried to grab it, but couldn't. So my mom grabbed the broom and tried to hit the hose onto the ground so they can step on it and stop it from spraying them with water. As my mom was trying to stop the hose from moving, the door all of a sudden shut. As the door shut, it hit my mom right in the back. Another coworker saw that my mom was not able to stop the hose from moving around, so he came behind and shut the door super quick. They all bolted out, scared, stiff, leaving the hose spraying water in the closet. My mom was so shaken up, she cried when she got home. I decided to check out the school myself later on and had some spooky encounters myself. I heard strange music playing on the PA system even though the school was deserted. There are plenty more scaries from this place. Another time, I went to the library. I thought that the librarian was behind the desk. When I walked closer, she was gone. Another scary event that had happened to me in this school. It was when I went to the bathroom to do my business. While sitting there and touching my phone, I heard somebody walking into the bathroom. I thought it was a teacher because the sound of the shoes sounded like high heels. The shoes slowly came past my stall and came right next to the stall next to me. I decided to turn down my volume on my phone just in case it was a teacher. But as a curious high schooler, I decided to look down and look at the shoes, so maybe later when I walk in the hallway, I can determine which teacher was the one that walked into the stall. But as I slowly bent over to look, there was no one in that stall. I thought that maybe it was the teacher just trying to play some tricks on me and probably lifted up her feet. And as soon as I was done with my business, I decided to stand on the toilet seat and look at her from above to see which teacher was it. As I slowly peeked over, there was not a soul in that stall. Then all of a sudden, the toilet in that stall flushed. It spooked me, and my foot fell into the toilet. I was so upset that my shoes wet now. But then I went back to think about who was the one that was walking in heels outside of my stall. Eventually, they torn down the school and built a new one on top of it. I often wonder if they got rid of whatever was haunting that place, or if the new high school is still haunted to this day.